Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. So in the Gita, we are studying the 13th chapter, and we are in this most amazing sequence where it talks about the ultimate reality, where Sri Krishna talks about the ultimate reality. Why does he do that? Because this chapter is based on, as I mentioned earlier, 6 questions. Arjuna asked 6 questions. What is the field and what's the field knower? Those are the first 2. What is knowledge and what is to be known? Those are the third and the fourth questions. And then finally, what is spirit and what is nature? In Sanskrit, kshetra kshetragya, jnana jñeyaṁ, prakriti purusha. These are 6 questions. Now we have gone through 3 of them. Now the question is, what is it to be known? What are we trying to realize? What's the nature of ultimate reality? The biggest possible question. And Sri Krishna answers here. We have been studying those verses. Very sublime, very poetic. We are on the 16th verse. We're going to start the 16th verse. Please repeat after me. Avibhaktaṁ ca bhūteṣhu, avibhaktaṁ ca bhūteṣhu, vibhaktam iva ca sthitam, vibhaktam iva ca sthitam, bhūta-bhartṛi ca jñeyaṁ, bhūta-bhartṛi ca jñeyaṁ, grasiṣhṇu prabhaviṣhṇu ca, grasiṣhṇu prabhaviṣhṇu ca. It is undivided in beings and yet remains as if divided. The knowable is the sustainer of beings as also the destroyer and creator. See, the language that has been used from verse number 12 onwards. Let me tell you what is it that we are trying to know or to realize, the nature of ultimate reality. That which is neither the manifest nor the unmanifest, na sat na asad uchyate. That by knowing which you shall attain immortality, yad jñātva amritam ashnute. Then everywhere are its feet, everywhere its hands and its eyes and ears, everywhere. It is illumined, it's revealed by the activities of every sense organ. It illumines every sense organ, and yet it is distinct from the body and the mind and the senses. It is beyond all attributes, beyond all characteristics, beyond all qualities. In Sanskrit, nirgunam. And yet the sustainer, the basis of this entire universe, guna bhoktricha. It is, last time we saw, bahirantascha bhūtānam. It is within everything, it transcends everything also. The moving and the non-moving, the living and the non-living. Unknowable because of its subtlety. But we also know it's more than knowable. We saw that, and it says it's far as well as it's near. So this kind of language, and it continues in this verse. It is undivided. It's one and undivided, and yet appearing to be divided in all beings. It is the source of all beings. It is the very existence of all beings, and it's that in which all beings dissolve. What does it mean? What's going on here is nothing other than the Upanishads. Sri Krishna is drawing from the source of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Upanishads. It is just pure Upanishadic language. The ultimate reality, Brahman. The word used in Upanishads is Brahman, which just means the vast, the unlimited. That is being described in very Upanishadic terms. The Upanishads are the source of Vedanta. And everything else that follows is based on the Upanishads, expands upon the Upanishads, explains the Upanishads, systematizes the Upanishads, makes it practical. So for example, yes, we have the Upanishads, but with our poor little intellects, if we approach the Upanishads directly, we might be inspired. We'll land up with lots of confusions and questions. In order to systematize the Upanishadic knowledge, the teachings of the Upanishads, you have the sutras called the Brahma Sutras. The Brahma Sutras of Vyasa, What it does is, it takes up the Upanishadic teachings and then through reasoning establishes a coherent system of thought, which our intellect then says, oh, I see, I get it. So the Brahma Sutras, it is said that what Vyasa did, he took the Upanishads and then sutrena iva grasiṣhṇu, as if like a thread. On a thread you place flowers and pearls, you make a beautiful necklace. So Vyasa made a beautiful necklace of the Upanishads with the thread of the sutra. There's two meanings. The aphorisms, the formulae are called sutras. Sutra also means thread. So what Vyasa did was, he ran a thread through the flowers called the Upanishads and made a beautiful garland of them. But the source of the Brahma Sutras is Upanishads. You might say, so what? We have not studied the Brahma Sutras, it seems to be marginal to us. No. Brahma Sutras are the foundation of all these systems of Vedanta. What I talk about all the time, Advaita Vedanta. All the other systems, Vishishta Advaita, the school of qualified monism, Dvaita, the school of dualism, the Shuddha Advaita, the school of pure non-dualism, which some people look intrigued. Oh, so there is a school of pure non-dualism? If you go to it, it will be pure dualism. If you take a look at it closely, it's basically a devotional school. But Shuddha Advaita, the school of Dvaita Advaita, dualism and non-dualism, the school of Achintya Bheda Bheda, the incomprehensible identity within difference. These are all ancient and big schools with vast literature, but they're all based on the Brahma Sutras. So the Brahma Sutras are important. And the Brahma Sutra is nothing but Upanishads. Then we come to the Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Upanishads are amazing. The Brahma Sutras, we begin to get an understanding of what the whole thing means. But then the question comes, okay, but how do I practice it in my life? Make it practical. Tell me what to do. What's a better life? What is an Upanishadic life? What is a Vedantic life? What is the spiritual life according to the Upanishads? Day to day, practical. Things in terms of, what do you call, deliverables. Results, deliverables. That is the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna. And this is also Upanishad. The Upanishada Gava Santi, that Krishnastu Dogdha. Sarva Upanishada Gavaha. Dugdha Gopalanandana. Yes. So the Upanishads are cows. And Krishna is the cowherd boy who milks the cows. And what's the milk? The Gita. So again, the Gita is the Upanishads. And you see it specifically in verses like this. This draws entirely upon the Upanishads. What is being said here in this verse? The Upanishadic idea of being, existence. What's the ultimate reality? What can you say about it? It is existence itself. What do you mean by existence itself? Think about it this way. Instead of thinking about world as a collection of objects which exist. That's the common sense view. What is this world? Describe it. Well, one way of describing it is giving an inventory. Well, this world is people and animals and plants and tables and chairs and houses and lakes and rivers and oceans and the sky and the earth and moon and the sun and the stars. So it's an inventory of objects. Tiny things like atoms and subatomic particles, vast things like galaxies and quasars and systems of galaxies and so on. So, collection. All of them exist. I was seeing a philosophy book which starts with the question, what exists? And the answer, everything. That's a nice answer. What is common to everything? That they exist. You might say, so somebody is a particularly smart aleck might say, but what about the things which don't exist? Well, we need not be bothered. They don't exist. So they don't come in the realm of everything because they are not in that set. They're not counted. Everything is, what exists, everything exists. So in everything, instead of thinking everything exists, Vedanta wants us to change our way of thinking and says, think of existence appearing as everything. So it's not that the table exists, chair exists, man exists, woman exists. It is existence which is tabling or chairs, existence chairs, existence tables, existence mans or women. I'm murdering the language, but notice, the language was not meant to be used in this way. The language is a functional tool which helps us to deal with life as it is. It's not meant for enlightenment. But language also throws a spell over us and enables us to function in this world, but this is the world of Maya. So in order to break the spell of language, Vedanta tells us, think about existence that you're living. Look around you right now. It's an ocean of existence. Instead of saying, Vedanta wants us to say, instead of saying, there is water in the waves. Look, there are so many waves. Each wave has some water. That's not quite a correct way of speaking. You'll say, no, a better way of saying is that water is appearing as waves, big or small. It's not that there are waves and you filled some water. Some waves you have pumped some less water into it, so there are small waves. Some waves are there, we have pumped more water into it, the bigger waves. No, it's water actually which is appearing as waves. Similarly, can we think of existence appearing as this universe? Think of existence as the reality. What could be more logical? After all, our idea of reality depends on existence. Our idea of unreality depends on the absence of existence. So existence is all that is. And what about stuff? What about people? Vedanta says they are like waves and water. So the people and stuff and things are names and forms and activities imposed upon existence. Right? So now he says, Avibhaktaṁ cha bhūteṣhu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. It is Brahman, the thing which we want you to know, O Arjuna. It is undivided on all beings, appearing as if divided. Appearing as if divided. So it's like the ocean. You can think of it divided into thousands of waves coming up and down, or you can think of it as a mass of water. If you focus on the water, you will find it's an undivided body of water. A mass of water. And if you focus on the waves, you will find it's divided. That wave, this is close, that is far, this is a big one, look, watch out, it's coming. So when you stand on the beach and look at various waves, and they seem different from each other. And each wave seems to have its own water. So the water which is one and undivided appears to be divided when we look at the waves, when we look at it from the perspective of the waves. Similarly, one existence appearing as this universe appears as if divided when you look at the individual beings, living and non-living. Each seems to have its own existence. Instead of existence appearing as those beings, each seems to have its own existence. So this existence is what Vedanta wants to teach us, and even more stunning. This is an amazing idea, really. Amazing idea. But even more, Vedanta goes one step further and says something stunning. It says, you are that existence. One might mistake it at this point. Yeah, I see what you mean. I am existing also, and they are all existing. No. You are existence. And in you, the ocean of existence, appears all these people, and living and non-living, these bodies, these senses, these thoughts, all of them, internal and external, this vast universe of the tiny and the super large, all of them are like waves in the body of water, in the ocean. You are that ocean. It's not that I exist and they also exist. No big deal. No, it's a big deal. It's the biggest possible deal that there could be. You are that existence. So all of it. Actually, in existence, there is no all or part or all. If you have part and the whole, then it becomes another philosophy called Vishishtadvaita. In a non-dual Vedanta, there is no part and whole. I mentioned it a couple of days back in our online class, I think. Very beautiful insight by one these monks. They say it in Hindi. I'm translating into English. This idea of quantity, of space, of time, of objects. Actually, it's one undivided ocean of existence. In this one undivided ocean of existence, the experience of change is what we call time. things are changing. One state to another state to another state. This is time, psychologically speaking. In this one undivided ocean of existence, the experience of quantity is what we call space. Big, small, there, here, far, near. Where are you experiencing this? In this ocean of existence. This is called space. And in this ocean, undivided ocean of existence, the experience of otherness, that's another thing which is existing. We are being told, you are that undivided ocean of existence. But if I experience that exists, not me, that's a separate thing, a separate person, a separate place, a separate event, other than me, that otherness in existence is what is called Vishaya, object. Object. Let me repeat that. I'm just translating from Hindi. I can tell you the Hindi original for those who understand Hindi. एक अनंत सत में परिणाम का संवित काल कहते हैं. In one undivided, in one unlimited ocean of existence, the experience of change is called time. एक अनंत सत में परिमाण का संवित को देश कहते हैं. In one unlimited ocean of existence, the experience of quantity is called space. I mean, you can add mass and things like that afterwards. एक अनंत सत में अन्यत्व का संवित को विषय कहते हैं. In one undivided ocean of existence, the experience of other is what's called an object. I am the limitless ocean of existence, and as if something else pops up in my experience as an other, that is an object to me. But then he adds, इस देश काल वस्तु की, देश काल विषय की संवित को अनंत सत का परिच्छेदक मानना अज्ञान है. In this limitless ocean of existence, to take that this experience of space, time and object are limiters to this limitless ocean of existence, this is ignorance. It's very profound. You can derive all of Advaita from this if you think about it carefully. Anyway, the last one. So we experience time, change, time. We experience space. In one, actually there is no space. It's limitless ocean of existence. We experience here and there. We experience otherness, objects to us. They become the existing objects apart from us. And that's how we experience the world. And what do we think? No, it's not an experience of space, time and object in unlimited existence which I am. No, they are space, time and objects are really out there, separate from me, other, separate. Space exists other than me. Objects exist other than me. Time exists quite apart from me. This is how we experience this. So this is called ignorance. But why? Isn't this a fact? No. Think about it this way. An example will make things clear. In dreams, when I'm not aware that I'm dreaming, I'm in my dream world. What do I see? Change is happening. I'm going from one place to another. Somebody came and visited me. We talked. Somebody was born. Somebody died. Experience of change, and the time is passing in the dream world. When we wake up, no change. None of that ever happened. Experience of space in the dream. I am here, this is near me, and that thing is outside the window, far across, I can see in the horizon. So, near and far, both we experience in the dream. When we wake up, what was near, what was far, both were nothing other than me, the dreamer. No space. And other, most beautiful thing, I am there in my own dream, and there are other people, and there are places, there are things, objects in my own dream when I wake up. All those other people, all those objects, all those places, they were nothing but me, the dreamer. True or not? So in the dream, when I take it to be Really space is out there. Really time is flowing. Really people are out there, things are out there apart from me. That's ignorance. All of this he said in one short sentence. So this is, I'll come, hold on to the question, don't forget. So this one ocean of existence is what is being referred to here as undivided in all beings, appearing as if divided. If you see 100 people in your dreams, how many are there? 1 and 99 appearances. I am the one, don't forget yourself. And 99. But even I, the one, you have to be very careful. I, the one whom I see, that body, that personality, that location, that what I see in the dream is not the real me. The real me is the dreamer. Yes. So, the illusion of otherness, objecthood, the illusion of space and time in consciousness. This is the cosmos, according to Advaita Vedanta. That's what's going on right now. Right now we are experiencing it. What Advaita does, it will not remove your experience of space. It will not remove your experience of time. It will not remove your experience of object. If it removes experience of space, time and object, you know what will happen? Universe will disappear. You will remain in samadhi. But when you come out of samadhi, what will Vedanta do for you? It will remove the ignorance that these are real, separate space, time and object. You will, even while experiencing them, you will not be fooled. You will know that there is only one unbroken, unlimited, limitless space. Limitless existence, And I am that. This was the teaching given to Shvetaketu by his father in the Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter. When he talked about, in the beginning of this universe, there was only one being, existence. From that existence, like from an ocean, waves emerge, the entire universe emerged. And it existed in that one existence. And ultimately, like waves merge back into the ocean, into water. Similarly, all beings, whoever they are, whenever they are, they arise, exist for a while, and they go back to what? Existence. Now, Shvetaketu might have been is a very interesting character if you read the Upanishad. Seems to be a very happy-go-lucky college kid, You can imagine him shrugging. Okay, there's such a thing. It sounds pretty abstract. What's it to me? Then the thunderbolt, his father says, Tat tvamasi Shvetaketu, you are that. Now you can't say, so what? You are that. You are not this boy Shvetaketu. Or rather, this is the real depth in the boy Shvetaketu. This is the real depth in us. Tat tvamasi, maybe the most famous sentence from the Upanishads. You are that. This is the meaning of that. He says, bhūta-bhartṛi ca jñeyaṁ grasiṣhṇu prabhaviṣhṇu ca. It is the source from which all the waves which we call this universe emerges. From existence emerges everything. Bhūta-bhartṛi ca. It is the support of all beings of the universe. Where do things exist? Where do the waves exist? You say in the ocean? They literally, more precisely, where do the waves exist? They exist in water. Where does this, what is the support? Let's put it this way. What is the support of this table? The first answer will be, well, the stage, the floor is the support of the table. It's on which the table stands. And the ground, the soil beneath is the support of this floor. But no, this is not the way the Upanishad thinks. This entity called the table, what is its existence? Where does it exist? In wood. It is wood which supports the name, form and activity we call a table. Similarly, it is existence which supports the universe. The universe having emerged from existence, emerge means new name, new form, new activity. It is supported by existence. And when it is destroyed, when a person dies, when an object is destroyed, ultimately, where does it go back to? To existence. Existence alone remains. Just the name, form and activity disappears. It may be replaced by some other name, form and activity. Just like a wave remains just as water. No longer the wave form, wave name, wave activity. It says, the support of all beings, the progenitor of all beings, and the ultimately grasiṣhṇu, which devours all beings. What is it? That existence. It sounds terrible, scary. No, it's you. From you emerges the entire dream universe. As long as you dream, you are the support of the entire dream universe. And when you wake up, the entire dream universe merges back in you. Similarly, in this world, you as Brahman, limitless ocean of existence, you are the source of the emerging of the world, including you yourself, this person. And you are the reality which supports, which gives real. Why does it seem real? People object when you say this is an appearance, Jagat Mithya, the falsity of the world. Why do we object? Because it does not feel unreal. Why does it not feel unreal? It's because of you. Wherever you are, that feels real. Because you are supporting it. Your existence itself. It's not that the world is real. The reality of the world is borrowed from you. You are real. Or you are reality itself. And into you it will merge again when it's destroyed. It is one, but it appears many. How? In relation to each body, mind, each sentient being. We all seem different existences. As see how Krishna said in the second verse, Kshetragyam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Know me to be the knower of the field in all fields. So one knower of the field in all these fields. Fields means body, mind. And now the same thing is being said from the perspective of existence. That know that there is only one limitless ocean of existence. Appears to be divided into millions and billions of living beings, non-living things, big and small, particles and so on. Hold on to the question, we'll finish one more. Then come. Okay. Now, going forward. Next one of the most beautiful lines in whole Upanishadic literature. And somebody said, Swami, you say that about every other verse. But this is true. It's one of Swami Vivekananda's favorite also. 17th verse. Jyotiṣhām api tad jyoti, Jyotiṣhām api tad jyoti, tamasaḥ param uchyate, tamasaḥ param uchyate, jnāna-gñeyaṁ jnāna-gamyam, jnāna-gñeyaṁ jnāna-gamyam, hridhi sarvasya vishṭhitam, hridhi sarvasya vishṭhitam. Sometimes you may read dhishṭhitam also in some books. Means the same thing. It is the light of light and is said to be beyond all darkness. It is knowledge and the knowable and the accessible through knowledge, and it is implanted in the hearts of all beings. Jyotiṣhām api tad jyoti, the light of all lights. Tamasaḥ param uchyate, forever beyond darkness. Jnānam, it is all knowledge. Jñeyaṁ, it is what is to be realized. Jnāna-gamyam, and it is also the goal of what you want through realization. Where is it? It's in your heart. It's a poetic way of saying it's you. You are what you are seeking. All right, I'll try to understand this. Jyotiṣhām api tad jyoti, tamasaḥ param uchyate. Swamiji was very fond of quoting it, so much so he put it in the evening aratrikam, the evening song which we sing to Sri Ramakrishna. At the end of the verse, end of the hymn, Jyotira Jyoti Ujala Riddhi Kandara, light of all lights shining in our hearts. Exactly this verse. Where does this come from? It comes from the Upanishads again. Maybe Swami Vivekananda's most favorite mantra from the Upanishads. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti, kuto yamagni, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa, sarvam idam vibhati. What does it mean? Beautiful poetry. What does it mean? The sun cannot illumine that. Nor the moon, nor the stars. This lightning, flashes of lightning cannot illumine it. What to speak of this mere mortal fire? Kuto vayam agni. That shining, all of these shine. By its light, everything here is lit up. What are they talking about? Consciousness. They're talking about you. Same thing which was said in terms of existence in the earlier verse. Upanishads talk about it. Same thing the Upanishads speak about as consciousness. In the Upanishads, existence and consciousness are the same thing. In Sanskrit, Sat and Chit are the same thing. How can that be? Let me give a direct answer first and then use reason and logic. In The Upanishadic approach, Vedantic approach is very interesting. The direct teachings of the Upanishads are enough for illumination for whom? The really smart cookies. All the logic and argumentation, philosophy, which seems to be very intellectual, that's for the mediocre, those who don't get it. For them, reason is necessary. And then there are others. Vedanta for dummies, so next level. But Vedanta is something for everybody. So the Vedanta says, so the first, let's try the direct approach. Existence and consciousness are the same thing. Let's look at ourselves. In utter stillness, suppose the world has disappeared. Suppose everybody else in the world has disappeared. There's nobody else. And my own body has gone. My senses have fallen silent. I do not see anything, hear, smell, taste, touch anything. I'm not remembering anything. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not trying to understand anything. I just, whatever there is, I don't even want to use any language. You will see what remains is a core of awareness. If you can feel that I remain as the awareness of the absence of all things. Not even thinking. That awareness, can we also call it existence? I am and I shine. Are you feeling warm, some of you? No? You're all right? Yeah, all right, okay. Because warm is equal to sleepiness, especially in Vedanta class. So, that existence, the awareness which I am, my own existence, it's a shining existence. Even the words I am, there are two parts of it. The I and the am. The am points to existence. And I points to awareness. Notice? I. It's a shining eye. It's a light. This I am, this is a word being used by Advaita teachers nowadays, which I like very much. It's a presence. So the word presence has connotations of both existence and awareness. A presence. I felt a presence. The presence is, it's also a conscious is. You are existence and awareness. Their existence and awareness are not two different things. We generally think of awareness and existence as two different things because, why? In our common sense, day-to-day life, we think of ourselves as conscious beings and aware of a non-conscious world. Here is existence other than awareness. I am awareness, I exist and I am aware, but I am aware of this thing which is not conscious, which is not aware, as far as I know, and it's a thing. So it exists, but not aware. So I can think of existence apart from awareness. But Vedanta says, no, ultimately existence and consciousness are not different. What's the logic? Now come down to logic. If you've got a feel for it, and at that point if somebody says, I don't know what you mean. All right, let's reason it out logically. Consciousness cannot be apart. Chit or consciousness cannot be apart from existence just because nothing can be apart from existence. If it's apart from existence, what happens to it? It doesn't exist. Yeah, it'll just disappear. It won't exist. That's illogical. You can't have consciousness apart from it. It will be a non-existent consciousness. So consciousness must always be existent. That's all right. But the biggie is the other way around. Can't things exist without being conscious, without being consciousness? I'll give you the Vedantic answer, which might seem a little difficult because it's a startlingly powerful insight. It's one word, adhyasa, superimposition. What does it mean? Suppose there is an existence apart from consciousness, apart from you. Notice I'm using the word consciousness and you interchangeably. One might ask, why are you only accusing me of being conscious? Isn't everybody else conscious? But look at your own experience. The only place that you find you experience consciousness is in yourself, nowhere else. What about the people next to me? Are they zombies? No, they are conscious, no doubt about it. But you do not experience their consciousness. All you can experience is the body. All you can experience is their behavior. All you can experience is their language. And if you are a telepath, all you can experience are their thoughts, but not consciousness. Think what it would be to experience the consciousness of another person. If you try to think of it, only thing you can think of is you are conscious. It becomes one with you. It cannot be an object to be experienced. So, consciousness, if existence is apart from consciousness, what will happen to that existence? It will become an object to consciousness. You might say, so, perfectly all right. These are all objects to my consciousness and they exist. Object to consciousness. That which is an object to consciousness is an appearance in consciousness and is nothing other than consciousness. This is the Vedantic conclusion. Why? Because the object and the consciousness, if you are aware of a thing which seems to exist apart from you, which means you, the consciousness, has somehow contacted that thing in order to illumine it. But where can consciousness and non-consciousness, where do they contact? Where do they touch? See, light can illumine this table because light is a material light, this table is a material table. Light can fall on the table and be reflected. But consciousness, how does it experience the table? You will see, if you see in your own experience, if you notice phenomenologically, you will see actually the table is an appearance in you, the consciousness. If I am consciousness, everything else is an appearance in me, the consciousness. Not in me, the guy. Even the guy is an appearance in me, the consciousness. That which appears in consciousness is an appearance. It's not a real separate thing. So the existence which appears to be other than consciousness becomes an object. Becoming an object is nothing other than a superimposition or an appearance in consciousness. In Sanskrit, just words. Sat, apart from chit, is jada. Jada means adhyasa, superimposition. Adhyasa means nothing other than consciousness. It's an appearance. So consciousness and existence are not apart, ultimately speaking. Okay. Now, the same teaching is now given in the terms of consciousness. It is light of all lights. This is Kathopanishad, Mundakopanishad. These are this verse that the sun, moon, and stars, and lightning and fire do not illumine. It is the light of all lights, that shining, everything else shines. It's a very well-known verse from the Upanishad, mantra from the Upanishads. What is this Upanishadic idea or Vedantic idea of a light? The idea here is anything that illumines or reveals something unknown or hidden is a light. We don't mean just physical lights. So this is a light because the room was in darkness, and when it was switched on, the light illumined the room in darkness. Now the room is no longer in darkness. It revealed that which was in darkness. What? Everything in the room was in darkness. It's been revealed by that light. So that's a light. The sun is a light. The moon. It's all taken from Upanishads. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. By what light does a man go about from house and do his work and come back to the house? By the light of the sun. When the sun has set, I'm quoting from the Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, when the sun has set and darkness falls, by what light does a man go about and do his business and come back to the house? Come and return? By the light of the moon. And when the moon has set, there's no moon. By what light? By the light of the fire. When the fire is extinguished, when the starlight also, and then the fire, when the stars are not seen, when the sun is not there, moon is not there, the fire is extinguished. By what light does a man? By sound, yes. By voice. Suppose there's no electricity. Suddenly it all goes dark. And you say, I am here. By my voice, you know that I am here. What lit up? What gave you knowledge? What revealed my hidden existence? Voice. Voice is a light. And ultimately it goes in this way to show consciousness is the light of lights. So, the physical luminaries are lights. But more subtly, more powerfully, they are lights only because I can see. So what's the light of that light? My eyes. So the senses are also lights. That form which is hidden in darkness is revealed by the light called the eyes. That form, we don't understand what a great light it is because you're able to see. Consider the person who has lost eyesight. I read about this mathematician who would come He was progressively losing his eyesight, a very famous mathematician. Norbert? He was losing his eyesight progressively. I was reading his life. It says losing his eyesight. So he would come blindfolded in the class and start writing. Why are you doing that, professor? Because I am getting ready for the time when I'll be totally blind. So see, what a great light the eyes are. And when it's gone, we find that we are in darkness. So the eyes are the light which reveals form, which is in darkness. The ears are light, which reveals sound. The tongue is a light, which reveals flavor. The nose is a light, the skin is a light, which reveals their respective objects. So the senses are also light. But what is the light of all the senses? The mind. It's only when the mind is thinking, cognizing, in Sanskrit, chitta vritti, jnanakara vritti, a movement in the mind in the form of knowledge. I see. Mind connected to eyes, connected to the world. I see. I hear. Mind connected to the ears, connected to sound. So the mind is the light of all the senses. If the mind is not attentive, all the senses may be open and functioning. The world may be there. You don't see, you don't hear. You're absorbed in some thought. Mind is not connected. Mind is not attentive. What is the light of the mind? Awareness, consciousness. Vedanta distinguishes consciousness from mind. Jyotiṣhām api tad jyoti, the light of lights. These are all lights. Sun and the moon and the stars and the lightning and the fire. But also all the five senses are lights. Also the mind is a light. Also, language is a light. Vedanta considers language to be a light. Language lights up. Without language, you cannot express, not even think about many things in this world. And you can extend it further. Today, what is the most powerful light in science? Mathematics. It's a language. Language is a light. But the light of all that is the mind. The light of the mind is consciousness. It is the light of all lights. That shining, everything else shines. It is only consciousness when it lights up. Then our thoughts are revealed, our desires, intentions, enjoyments, suffering, our sensory experiences are revealed, and the world is revealed. So consciousness is the light of lights. You are consciousness. You are the light of lights. Jyotiṣhām api tad jyoti. Tamasaḥ param uchyate, forever beyond darkness. Again, Swami Vivekananda would quote. This is again from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Tamasaḥ param uchyate. There is this light of lights which is forever beyond darkness. Why forever beyond darkness? An interesting fact. This light and darkness, they do not meet. There is darkness outside and there is light here. They do not meet. Because wherever you take the light, the darkness will flee. So this light, one thing this light cannot illumine is darkness. What is illumination? Something which was hidden is now revealed. But light cannot reveal darkness, because darkness will be gone when you switch on the light. That old Indian story is there of the village watchman. And the landlord said, "Hey you, take this lantern, it's dark. Go and put it, where shall I put it, sir? Put it where it's dark." So he comes back with the lantern. I couldn't find where it's dark. Wherever I go, there's no darkness. So light destroys darkness. But this light of lights also, it's a speciality. It reveals the darkness. When we are aware, through this light, we can see this room. If it's plunged into darkness, we are aware of the darkness. It's all dark now. We are aware of it. So physical light will destroy darkness, but consciousness reveals darkness also. Consciousness is light which reveals darkness. You might say that's a curious fact, but all right, it's just a play on words. No. There's a deep, deep philosophical meaning to this. Consciousness reveals all knowledge, and consciousness reveals the absence of knowledge. Consciousness reveals ignorance. Right now, I have knowledge about all of you. I can see all of you. And I'm ignorant about what's behind me right now. Ignorant. I don't know what's behind me. I can't see it. But I'm aware there is some stuff which I can't see. This ignorance about that stuff is being illumined by me, the consciousness. So consciousness reveals all objects, And through the instruments of knowledge, and what is not revealed, what is dark, that's also revealed by consciousness as the not revealed. Consciousness is that which is other than the known, other than the unknown. Kenopanishad. See the resonances. Light of lights. What is the language of Kenopanishad? Shrotrasya shrotram manaso mano yad vachoha vacham chakshushas chakshur. It is the ear of the ear. It is the mind of the mind. It is the tongue of the language of the language. It is the eye of the eye. Here he says it is the light of the light. And what are they all talking about? Only one thing, consciousness, you. Jyotiṣhām api tad jyoti. Now this consciousness, one point here, it is very manifest. One might think, so let me put the question this way. One might think, still, existence and consciousness, they do not seem coextensive. They do not seem to go together. Because I feel existence is everywhere. I understand what you mean when you say think of the universe as an ocean of existence and every existing thing as a wave in that ocean of existence. I understand. But consciousness just seems to be here, not out there. And it seems to be aware of the out there. So why doesn't it go together? If existence is an ocean of existence and if I'm conscious, I'm consciousness, then I should feel like the whole universe I am and I'm conscious. That's how it should feel. It doesn't feel like that. Why does consciousness seem so manifest in this? So consciousness seems manifest to each of us where? In our minds. In our minds. But when Vedanta says consciousness is everywhere, it's like this. One Vedanta teacher explained it so beautifully. I've given this example earlier, but he extends that example. The example is this. So there's bright light shining here. It's light all around. The moment I put my hand here, you can see the light shining. Can you see the light shining? Two things are happening. The light illumines the hand, but the hand reflects the light. What does the light do for this hand? It illumines the hand. If there's no light, you couldn't see the hand. But what does the hand do for the light? Notice what happens if I remove the hand. The hand manifests the light. Right? So objects, the mind and the senses, they manifest consciousness. And consciousness reveals the mind and the senses, and through the mind and the senses, consciousness reveals the world. This is the example which I have given often. If I remove the hand, what happens? There is still light here, but it's not manifest. But now notice this. If I separate my fingers, look. Each of the fingers is lit. And the lit up experience of light shining is visible in this finger, in this finger, in this finger, in this finger, in this finger. But in between the fingers, same light is there, nothing is visible. See, it is like this, you can see the light. If you separate the fingers, you will find lit up position, no lit up. Lit up, no lit up. Lit up, no lit up, like that between the... But is there light here? Same light which is here is right here. You can't see it. Now, Avibhaktaṁ bhūteṣhu, undivided in all beings. Vibhaktam eva sthitam, remain appearing as if divided. Look, the light is undivided. The whole area is covered with light. It's undivided. But in each finger it seems to have its own light. Not only that, each light will have its own history now. This light is going forward, this light is going back, this light is circling around, this light is shorter, this light is taller. No, these are the characteristics of the fingers. Similarly, the light which is illumining our own, each of us, we seem to be different from each other, like these fingers. What are we? The light. But because I'm so closely at painting this finger, I think I am this one and different from all of these ones. First of all, I must see I am the light, not this one. Not only the light here, I am the light here and the light here and light here, light here. So this body-mind complex manifests consciousness. And therefore it seems very bright in each body-mind complex. But it's there everywhere. When this body dies, the mind goes away and no more manifestation. So this living body-mind, living means life is part of the subtle body. So it's when the subtle body is in this body and you feel an awareness. Jyotiṣhām api tad jyoti. And it's in every being, everywhere, appearing as if divided. forever beyond darkness. There is no ignorance in consciousness, in awareness. The ignorance is there in the mind, which is part of this finger. There is no darkness in the light itself, but the darkness may be there in this finger, in the body mind. Isn't it a good example? Very nice example. It's an extension of this, the usual light and object reflecting light, appearing as if divided. Tamasaḥ param uchyate. Tamasaḥ param uchyate, transcending beyond all darkness. It transcends the body, it transcends the mind, it transcends maya, the three gunas. Consciousness exists. Transcends ignorance. Also, practically, it transcends the effects of ignorance. Death, samsara. So this light is beyond samsara. You are beyond samsara. The other effects of ignorance, anger, ego, jealousy, hatred, restlessness, anxiety, all the problems and negativities which bedevil us in the samsara, they're all products of this root ignorance. I think I am this. I don't think I am the light shining or illumining. So this is Jyotiṣhām api tad jyoti tamasaḥ param uchyate, beyond the darkness. Darkness of ignorance, darkness of samsara, and the darkness of what happens, the opposite of knowledge. The 20 qualities were discussed, 20 practices were discussed. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, rajyavam, egolessness, non-ostentatiousness, non-violence, forgiveness, straightforwardness. So many, 20 qualities were discussed, 20 values or practices. Just the opposite of that is darkness, is the effect of darkness. Jnanam, jñeyaṁ, jnanagamyam. Jñeyaṁ means a thing to be known. So this limitless consciousness, this limitless light, which is also existence, this sat chit, existence light, existence consciousness, is jñeyaṁ, is what is to be realized. In the Mandukya Upanishad, 7th mantra, sa atma sa vijñeyaḥ, that is the self, and that has to be realized. Realized as what? I am that. I am Brahman. I am Brahman. Brahman is I. I am Brahman only. Not body, not mind, not this guy. This is just way downstream. It's just an appearance in me. And Brahman is me only. Brahman is not that there is some Brahman, some ultimate reality, and I am a little part of it. No. It is just you. You are it. Once you say you are it and nothing other than it, then it is only you. There is no other Brahman apart from you. Jnanam, and it is jñeyaṁ, it is a thing to be realized. And it is also knowledge. This is the interesting thing. Consciousness is also knowledge. It's only because, it's a light of lights, it's only because of consciousness that we have knowledge. All knowledge is made possible because of consciousness. Therefore, just as an aside for those who are interested in artificial intelligence, so for example, computers or sensors, they're continuously gaining knowledge, they're collecting data, all our phones in our pockets, and I saw a video, is my phone listening to me? The answer is straightforward, yes, of course, all the time. So isn't it gathering data? It's the age of big data. It's the age of big data. So isn't it gathering data? Isn't it gathering knowledge? In one sense, yes. But then how is it different from us? It does not have the first person experience of knowing things. There is no light in that phone in your pocket which is saying, I hear you. No, it's just a mechanism. It's just an algorithm. I won't say just, it's a very sophisticated thing, but in no way is it knowledge in the way it is meant. Knowledge in the way we understand knowledge. A first person experience. There's no first person experience there. So consciousness gives you that first person experience. Jnanam. All chitta vrittis, putting it technically, movements of the mind are illumined by consciousness, the light of lights. Therefore, consciousness is not only the thing to be known, it's also all knowledge. Jnanagamyam, the goal to be realized. We are seeking to overcome suffering, we are seeking to overcome ignorance and realize I am Brahman, become enlightened. That, what takes you to that goal is this very consciousness itself. It is nothing other than that. It is Brahman, it is moksha. Moksha is consciousness itself is moksha. It's moksha swarupa. It is ever free. Once you realize that itself is freedom. Jnana gamyam. Superb, wonderful. Where is it? Hrihi sarvasya vishtitam. It is safely implanted in, it is to be found in your heart. In sarvasya, in everybody's heart. Where? Heart means it's you. Literally, buddhi guhayam, in the depths of your mind, in the depths of our being, that one light shining forth, the light of lights, that's that pure consciousness. Whose? Everybody's. No, only Vedantins will make it exclusive. Nobody else. The dualists, they are excluded from this. No. Everybody is included. It's shining everywhere, in all beings. Whether you know Vedanta or you do not know Vedanta, whether you accept it, whether you reject it. More than even the laws of science, this is the most impersonal principle of the universe, which makes the whole thing possible. The whole thing is held together because of this central principle. I mentioned this earlier also. That book, Why Does the World Exist? Jim Holt. He's a science writer here in New York. So he goes around asking scientists, physicists, mathematicians, then philosophers, theologians, why does anything exist at all? And towards the end, he's talking to Robert Nozick, who was a great American philosopher who passed away recently, a few years ago. And another philosopher told me that actually he was very fascinated by Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. So ultimately, he's talking to Robert Nozick and he asks him, why does anything exist at all? And goes through several possibilities, none of which seem to work. Many wonderful, cutting-edge answers. It's a fascinating book. It takes you to the cutting edge of science and mathematics and philosophy. What is the most advanced thinking that's going on in the world about the biggest questions? And Robert Nozick says, who knows, maybe the ancient Hindus were right. Atman is Brahman, Advaita Vedanta. I was looking, did anybody mention that, Advaita Vedanta? It is mentioned there. So this is the principle which holds the world together, but it is you. Tattvamasi, you are that. All right, one more, but here the topic is concluded in the 17th verse. Jñeyaṁ, what is to be known? He will just say in the 18th verse. Let me just read the 18th verse, then we can start a new section next time. 18th verse is, Iti kshetram tatha jnanam, iti kshetram tatha jnanam, jñeyaṁ choktam samasataha, jñeyaṁ choktam samasataha, madbhakta etad vijñāya, madbhakta etad vijñāya, madbhāvāyopapadyate, madbhāvāyopapadyate. Thus the kshetra, knowledge and knowable, have been stated in brief. Knowing this, my devotee becomes fit to attain my being. So what has been covered? 4 questions have been answered. Kshetram, the knower of the field. And by extension, the field also. Kshetram is field. And kshetragya, knower of the field. So both have been covered. He just mentions field here. Jnanam, knowledge. Jñeyaṁ, the thing to be known. So 4 questions have been answered. And he says, samasataha, in brief. So all of this which went on till now, all of this was in brief. Madbhakta etad vijñāya, realizing this, my devotee, emphasizing the importance of devotion. Devotion is a part of Vedanta. It's not all philosophy and impersonal principles and direct path and a flash of enlightenment, and all those are there. But devotion to God is very much a part of this. It helps very greatly. Madbhavaya upapadyate, attains to my nature. What is this nature? Does he become Krishna, blue in color? No, he doesn't become an avatar. Does he become God? No, he doesn't even become God. Something beyond God and avatar, beyond Jiva Jagatishvara, beyond the sentient beings, beyond the universe, beyond the God of this universe, the Absolute, which is our real nature, that one limitless existence, consciousness bliss. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Devotion, faith, it shortens the procedure much very quickly. It makes our path shorter. All right, those who had questions, I'll come to you. Who had a question? You had. Do you remember the question? Yeah. Tell me, and then we'll come to you. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Tushar. I had one question as well. My Sadguru, when I asked him if I should study Brahma Sutra, he said, I don't hate you, so don't go to Brahma Sutra yet.
Said, I don't hate you.
Yeah. But I had a question about the
Vishaya Pariched, yes.
I've heard of Vastu Pariched.
Same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Objective
Okay.
or objecthood.
Okay.
Which is objecthood is basically other.
Yeah.
Other means another to consciousness, other to your, which feels like something other than me.
Okay.
Basically, the whole universe
Yeah.
feels like something other than me.
Yeah.
That is the object limitation.
Yes. Yeah.
Brahma Sutras, when one becomes a monk, for example, a traditional Dashnami Sampradaya Sannyasi, monk of the 10 orders of the non-dual Vedanta, you don't, the minimum requirement is, of course, you have to read some Upanishads and the Gita, but Brahma Sutras, you don't have to read all the 555 sutras with their commentary. You have to read the first 4. This is called Chatussutri, the first 4. Adhato Brahma Jigyasa, hence therefore inquiry into Brahman. Janmadyasya yataha, that from which the universe appears, exists, into which it disappears, that is Brahman. Shastra yonitvat, and this is known from the source called the Upanishads, the Shastras. Tattu samanvayat, and the whole purport of the Upanishads is understood to be this Brahman, the teaching that it is, the whole universe comes from Brahman. So these are the first 4 sutras, but there are 551 more sutras like this, and they all come with extensive commentaries. That's the Brahma Sutras. It can be a bit brain frying. That's why your guru must have protected you. Said, I don't hate you, so I won't tell you to study the Brahma Sutras. But at least the first 4 sutras one can always study. And I hope one day I will do it here also. Yes. Come to you. Yes, you first. Kiran.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure this type of Vedantic meditation is correct, Swamiji. So I am the awareness, consciousness, and I have the knowledge of the events happening. Yet I am not the doer, I am just not even witness, but they are just happening in me, the awareness. Yet I am not attached.
Yes,
Is that the
like the
right
light. I am the consciousness. In which, see, when I'm wriggling the fingers, the light is not doing anything, but it reveals the wriggling of the fingers. Now, if the light is diluted, it thinks, I'm going forward, I'm going backward, I'm twirling. No, nothing is happening to the light. If the light is not diluted, it will see that this going forward and backward is happening, twirling is happening, but it's happening in the finger, not in me. I'm just revealing it. There's a difference, however, between this light and finger example and Vedanta. Here, the fingers and the hand is actually different from the light. This is more like Sankhya. But in Vedanta, the light itself appears as this.
So how do you use that example to bring out that concept?
This example will not bring out that concept. This example, clearly 2 different things are there. To bring out that concept, you'll have to use something like wave and ocean, clay and pot, or dreams and dream objects.
Yes. One question on the verse 16. So there is this definition of the indivisible that appears as divided, that it may agree with Vaisheshika and also material reductionism, such as this idea of atomos, the atom and atom. So this is a definition of reality. We go to the atom, we can go even to the fields, or information even now. That's genetic information, binary information. So this is one definition of reality, the divisible, the indivisible, the undivided. But it seems that is not enough for Vedanta to be undivided is to be real. It's something else. For science, I guess that is enough. So what would be the difference between the definition of reality between both?
Yes. In the Vaisheshika school, that is the school of the Hindu school of realism, what is reality? And they say, well, look around you. Reality is, there are things. We call them substances. So all these are things. And all of these things have qualities. So this is a brown table, that's a black table, this is a tall man, that's a short man, it's a red flower, that's a yellow flower. So these red, yellow, tall, short, all of these are qualities which inhere in the substances. The substance is the flower, and the quality is that it is a red flower. Then there is something else, that there are actions. The flower is blooming. The flower is being transported. The flower is being arranged here. There are actions in the world, which are neither objects, they're not substances, they are not qualities either. And then there are relations. There is a relationship between the color of the flower and the flower itself. It's called inherence. And there's something else called absence. So there are 7 kinds of reality. There is dravya, guna, then there is karma, then there is relation, sambandha, jati, vishesha. There is something called vishesha, and they are called absences, things like that. This is the idea. Yes, there is a reality, but it's divided. They're all different from each other. Whereas Vedanta would say, this one unbroken existence has no internal differentiation. Vedanta would say there is one reality which is free of the 3 kinds of difference. One kind of difference is that one reality. Are there other kinds of similar reality? So there is a reality called table. Are there other tables? Of course there are. Vedanta says, is there existence? Are there many existences of the similar type? No. There is no boundary between one existence and it's all one existence. So there are no many existences. That's one. Okay. Then the next question will be, are there things, realities of different kinds? So there are tables, no doubt. But there is also a carpet. There is also a human being. They are all different from the table. Similarly, in the ultimate reality, are there different kinds of ultimate realities? One kind of ultimate reality, O Vedantin, you are saying is existence. I get it. But other than existence, are there other ultimate realities? There can't be. If it's other than existent, it becomes non-existent. If it is something within existence itself, then it becomes dependent on existence and not an ultimate reality. So the ultimate reality is being itself, existence. There's no other kind of reality. Then third, okay, there are not many existences. There's nothing other than existence. But within existence, are there differences? Like this body is a body. But within this body, there are differences. There are the hands, and they are all different parts of the same body. Hands and feet. Vedanta goes and says there is no difference within existence also. Then what about this world? Well, the differences you see in this world, Vedanta asks, are they part of existence? Are they components of existence? Let me ask you this. This table. Take a look at the wood. The very existence of this table is the existence of the wood. The wood is the inner, the reality, the cause, material cause of this table. Now the table has parts. There are 4 legs of the table. There's the top of the table. There's the bottom of the table. The top and the bottom of the table, the 4 legs of the table, are they parts of wood? Are they components of wood? No, they are not. Before the table was made, the wood was there. It didn't have legs. It didn't have a top and a bottom. Tomorrow, if the table is destroyed, it would be bits of wood. That will not have 4 legs and a top and a bottom. So the parts of this table are not parts of the wood, although they appear to be. The wood is the only thing that there is. After all, when I touch it, I say, touch wood. There's only one thing here. And it appears as a table. Is a table a part of the wood? No. Is the table a quality? It'll ask the Vaisheshika. Is the table a quality of the wood? No. Is the table an action of the wood? No. Does the table have any relationship to the wood? No. And yet it appears. And it has a name, it has a function. This appearance, name and function, this is called Maya. Only underlying reality is wood. Here. Not ultimately. Ultimately it would be a wooden Advaita then. It is non-dual Brahman. Yes, existence itself. Wait, we'll just answer the question behind. Yes. Please pass on.
Swamiji, I have two questions. First one is consciousness same as awareness?
I'm using it indistinguishably. The distinction we need to make is that consciousness or awareness which we feel right now, which is the meaning of the word consciousness, is not exactly what is being referred to here. Because there's no word for it in English. In Sanskrit, many words are there. Chit, Chiti, Chaitanya, Samvit, many words are there. Bodha. But in English, no word. The closest we have got is consciousness. What's the relationship of consciousness to, let us say, pure consciousness or Atman? It's the same relation as moonlight has to sunlight. Moonlight is not sunlight, and yet it is nothing other than sunlight. It's sunlight reflected off the moon. And it behaves differently from sunlight. It feels different. It's got a different name. When sunlight is not directly available, it's available indirectly through the moonlight. Sunlight doesn't increase or decrease, but moonlight seems to go through phases. Similarly, this consciousness, which is actually what is meant by the word consciousness, is the consciousness we have right now. It seems to come and go. It seems to wake, dream, fall asleep, seems to become unconscious, seems to be more and less, seems to be divided from each other in all beings. This example is good. It's like the light in each of the fingers, reflected right now. But the light in itself is what is called pure consciousness, what they are talking about. What's the question?
The second question now is, so the mind sees the world.
Yes.
And awareness sees the mind.
Yes. Illumines the mind.
Right. And is there any other way to know consciousness or awareness than the thing that observes the mind?
Very good question. So does the consciousness depend on the mind? In one sense, as I said, what does the light do for the hand? It illumines the hand. But what does the hand do for the light? It manifests the light. Without the hand, you will not be able to experience the light. So in one sense, the hand does do something. There's something that the light can't do itself, which the hand... So that is the position of Sankhya philosophy. Yes, consciousness depends on material nature for its manifestation, for its functioning, for its effectiveness, for its experience. Karta, bhokta, everything is because of material nature with consciousness. Consciousness illumining material nature. But the wrinkle which Advaita introduces is, what is the relationship between this material nature and consciousness? Or more specifically, what is the relationship, very precise, between that mind which is illumined by consciousness and which manifests consciousness and consciousness itself? So the mind which I am experiencing, thoughts. Let me experience a thought, A, B, C, D. I am experiencing it now. I, the awareness, shining in that thought. What is the relationship of that thought to that awareness? And the answer they come to is, that thought, that ABCD, is a superimposition. It's an appearance in awareness. It's nothing other than awareness. That is the teaching now. That this entire universe, starting from the grossest external object, biggest and smallest, to the subtlest thought, which seems to be in direct contact with consciousness. All of it is an appearance in consciousness. There's nothing, it's this incredible thing that you are appearing to yourself as this extensive universe, including this body, mind, and all other beings also. So, does consciousness depend on the body, mind? Practically, yes. But in principle, no. Because body, mind, nature, Maya are nothing other than consciousness. Call it, so Vedanta talks of it as the glory of consciousness. After realizing all this, we say, I am real, the world is an appearance. The Vedantin complains. The world is still appearing. It's the whining of a non-dualist. I am non-dual consciousness, but why this whole thing is still appearing, this pest of a universe? And the answer is, bhati ched bhatu mayikasya bhushanam tat. If it is shining, yes, let it shine. It is the glory, it is the ornament of the mayika, the wielder of Maya. You, the consciousness, you are the wielder of Maya. It's your glory that disappears. You, consciousness, you have adorned yourself, decorated yourself. With what? With the universe. And what great fun then.
Swamiji, I wanted to narrate a quick incident and get your thoughts on how I can improve the way I think. I had an interview yesterday, and before that, I had prepped for it, but I had self-doubt that how is this going to go. So I tried to reason with myself and told myself that, hey, I know this, I've done this before, all of the other things. But at the same time, there was this lingering doubt still inside me. I went for a walk and I said to myself that the fear is because of the unknown of what will happen. And then I said to myself that the only thing that's to be known is that I am Brahman. I just said it. It's not like I really understand it. And then I said Janoya Mano. That's the only way to do it. And that just flipped a switch in my head, because of which I just assumed that whatever is going to happen is going to happen anyway. And the universe has in store what it has. So may not be the most logical leap of faith, but it kind of flipped a switch inside me, and I just wanted to understand how do I make it better and take a tool in my life.
Very good. This is what is called applying this knowledge, living it. First of all, you draw benefit from it. And I am Brahman, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. All right, I have not realized, I have understood some of it, what it means. I'm just repeating it parrot-like. Good, repeat it parrot-like. It will give you strength. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. And you feel that strength. And you feel that peace. You feel that detachment. And then you go into life, plunge into life with this knowledge, with this feeling. And it helps you. It strengthens your faith and conviction. In success it helps you. Suppose one fails. Still a shock, still bitter. But then one realizes then, intellectually at least, the same consciousness is equally unaffected in the midst of this failure. And I am that. It was too bad that this thing failed. Or it's great that this thing succeeded. Often when you are at peace, when you are calm and centered, you tend to succeed much more often than you fail. So it's a great thing to do. A wonderful thing. Live from that. Live from that conviction, this clarity. The more convinced you are, more faith you have in this, the shorter the process. And the more one tries out. See, this is what he did, is a better meditation than sitting quietly and closing the eyes and thinking, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. But trying to live it in the midst of opposition, in the midst of trouble. Most of the trouble is from within, not really much from outside. And overcoming the trouble within, with the knowledge within, you will see it works. It works. Remain centered in your nature as limitless existence, limitless awareness, as the light shining. But what about the world? That's our big problem. Leave it. Turiyanandaji's advice, leave it to the mother. It's the play of the Divine Mother. She is Mahamaya, so leave it to her. Good. This is, in fact, Shankaracharya in the commentary on Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, he says, this is nididhyasana. He says, in fact, this is a mananam. After hearing the truth, you reason. He says, not just intellectual reasoning. He uses the word, to live life with the strength that comes from this knowledge is called mananam. He calls it balyam, the force of this strength of non-duality. Balasya bhava in Sanskrit. So there is a whole sequence where traditionally we say the steps of Vedanta are Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Hearing, reflecting, reasoning and meditating. But there is a more ancient way in this has been put. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where these three words come from, there in another sequence it is called Pandityam Balyam Maunam. Scholarship, childlike nature, silence. Shankaracharya says there, he plays on the word balyam. He says not childlike nature, it is strength. So the Sanskrit word balyam can be derived in both ways. Balasya bhava, childlike nature. Balasya bhava, strength. Then he says, strength from Vedanta. And exactly what you did. The more we face, the more we note the effect on our mind first. Is it calm? Is it strong? Is it steady? Or if it was upset, has it recovered quickly? Good. Award yourself full marks for that. And keep doing it. Last, I will take up questions later on. Yes.
My only question was when you were talking about the wood and the table. You said the table has no relationship.
Yes. How is it related? Is it a part of the wood? Has it been produced by the wood? Is it a thing which has been produced by the wood? If it had been produced, it would have existed apart from the wood. No. Where is the table? And there is a similar reasoning in Buddhism. The chariot. Where is the chariot? Here. I see the wheels and the body of the chariot, like the car, for example. So these are parts of the chariot. Where does the chariot exist? Does it exist in the parts? Does it exist apart from the parts? Is it just the parts? And in this analysis by the monk Nagasena in front of the king Milinda, questions of King Menander, where is the chariot? And he said, there is no chariot to be found while you are sitting on the chariot. Similarly, Vedanta does take a slightly different approach. The name and form and activity have no real relationship with or rather the other way around. The wood has no real relationship with the table. The table entirely depends on the wood. It is the substance, the reality of the table. But the reality of the table, the wood, does not depend on the table. Yeah. I've done the Shanti mantra? Yes. All right, thank you.